Hi there. As promised, here is a process that I go through processing these iVerify forms. First of all, what I do is I print the iVerify in application for leave forms. This is a process that I go through in order to print them. What I do is I print them all up, I pencil in the date that I received the iVerify form up here, and I log it into this book. So these are all the forms that I have received from the employees, and these are the dates that I have received the form. So I keep track of the form or the individual who sends it, what they send, and when they send it. And this here just it keeps on going on forever and ever. And sometimes I print them off twice, so I don't need one form, so fortunately. So that's what I do when I print them off. The second step that I take is I check these balance forwards with the yearly spreadsheet that I have in the computer. So I have all these numbers in Excel spreadsheet, and so I coincide these with those balances. Then I check the time earned and see if that coincides with the anniversary date. So what that means is annual leave reporting days. So time you earn your annual leave days after 1 year and successfully passing your probation, you get 15 days. In years 2 to 5, you get 20 days. In year 6 and beyond, you get 25 days. So as April 1st of 2011, an individual's anniversary date, if they're on April 1st, 2005, anything previous to April 1st, 2005, so if it's March 10th, 2005, an individual gets 25 days. Anything after that, you will receive either 20 days or 15 days. Then I check the calendar to ensure that these dates match with the correct time taken off. So sometimes people say, oh, I've taken off, let's say for example, April 22nd, but that's a stat holiday, that's Easter Friday or whatever. So sometimes people do that. So I just ensure that the dates that the leave is taken does coincide and there's no stat holidays or it doesn't fall on the weekend. Then I confirm the days and times used. So sometimes they put, okay, these are the dates, and say, let's say it's a whole week, but they only put 4 here. Then I have to figure out why. Or sometimes they say, I've taken a whole week off, and then they put a 5 here, and that's great. Then I put this information, these into the Excel spreadsheet. So I have this column, and this column. Then I do my own calculations in the spreadsheet. Then I look at this and I confirm that those balances with these balances to see if they match and they're correct. If not, I strike a line through here. Then I put in the correct amount that I obtain. Once I do that, then I decide on all these balances if they all add up and they all coincide with the correct dates of leave taken. Then I assign it to one of 3 categories. Either agree that these are my balances, these are your balances, and we're in agreement. Or mostly, these are my balances, these are your balances, they're out a day and a half or a half a day. Then that's a mostly. Or discrepancy, where they're all out of whack, they all do not coincide at all. So then I put that, then I type right up here, agree, mostly, or discrepancy. I put the date and time in another spreadsheet. So I have a yearly spreadsheet and a monthly spreadsheet. So the monthly keeps track of all the forms, all these, and degree of agreeability, either agree, mostly, or discrepancy. Then I make notes on the mostly and discrepancy iVerifies. So here I say why it's mostly and why it's discrepancy. For mostly, I do not ask for this form back. I just say, okay, it's out a half a day here or a day here. Please ensure that these changes are made prior to submitting the next one. So if this was April's and it was mostly, I would send an email saying, okay, April's balances are out a little bit. Please correct for March or May. Please correct for May, and submit May's. You don't have to resubmit April's. But if it's discrepancy, if April is all out of whack and these balances do not coincide at all, then I would ask you to resubmit April. And I drag from the inbox this April iVerify form into a different folder and wait for the next one to be submitted. Then after I make notes on the degree of mostly discrepancy, then I send an email, as I mentioned, back to you saying, okay, these balances are incorrect, this is what we have, this is what you have, please correct it for the next month, or please resubmit this form. Then I sign it and I date it. Then I tick it off in this journal as processed. So you can see all these ones here are all processed. And then I take this form and I put it into a pile. And I tick it off in the email and I drag and drop it in the email into the appropriate folder. Then I photocopy this form and I give it to the head office. I keep the photocopy here and I file it into the employee's file. So as you can see, I have done a number of them. This is all the forms that I have done since about February of last year. So you can see that I have done quite a bit. This is the agree. So all these forms are application for leaves and iVerifies. So that's part of the reason why I'm doing this video. So as you can see, that's the process that I go through. This is explaining the processing the iVerify. So that's all the steps that I have to go through just to process this form. Then I process the application for leave. And this is the process that I go just to process the application for leave form. So I print it, process the iVerify, process the application for leave forms. When I print the iVerify, I write the date up here and that I received it. I check these balances. I put these into the yearly spreadsheet. Then I assign this to one of three categories: agree, mostly, or discrepancy. I type that in here. I make any notes of the mostly and discrepancy, why I did that. Then I send an email on just the mostly and discrepancy. I ask that the mostly do not be resent and the discrepancy ones be resent. Then I date it and I sign it. I tick it off in here. Then I tick it off in the email and I photocopy all those ones for head office. That's a process that I go through when I process these iVerifies.